All right, good afternoon and welcome to our channel. Today, I'd like to discuss what to do if you miss a Section 8 deadline. Now, that can mean a lot of things. So, I'm going to go over all the different things you can do in terms of dealing with Section 8 and missed deadlines, whether it's applications, receiving the voucher, or even providing information through informal hearing process. Before I get started, I'm going to switch screens real quick and we will move on to a little bit of company information. Here we go. And you'll see me right down here on the right side talking to you guys. All right, so for those with learning disabilities, we're also going to put up notes that'll be in the comments section as well as the description. Now, with no further ado, my name is Jay. I am the owner of Section8Consultant.com. We help people navigate the system. I worked at the federal level for 26 years, and we still offer appointments. All right, let me put up the notes for you guys so you can follow along, and you'll have to wait till after the video has gone live before I can actually attach these notes in the comments section, okay? So what to do here? The most important rule is act immediately. Many of you guys often wait too late. In fact, many of our clients try to contact me years later. Look, there's not much we can do after about 12 months, but if the issue is been less than 1 year, then likely there's a remedy in place. So as you can discover from the missed deadline, submitting a missed document form or requesting immediately in action, including a written request to accept it late, explaining briefly what the deadline was missed, attaching supporting evidence when available, requesting reinstatement, reconsideration, or even an extension through different processes that we'll be discussing further in here. If you received an adverse decision or a request for informal review or a hearing immediately, make sure you keep proof of delivery. Do not wait for the caseworker to call you back. Okay, guys? That often does not happen or is really delayed, so you need to make sure that you're following up whenever possible. There is no universal Section 8 grace period, okay? So you make no presumptions with this. HUD does not establish one automatic grace period covering any missed deadline, and many deadlines are created by the individual and public housing authorities administrative plan. For those that don't know, under FOIA, or better known as Freedom of Information Act, every housing authority must file with HUD its administrative plan, and in there it will discuss all the rules and how they address these different deadlines. There also, if we go into the administrative plan, must address these subject matters: waiting list administration, voucher terms and extensions, informal reviews for applicants and informal hearings for participants, recertification procedures, reporting requirements, termination and denial procedures. Therefore, two housing authorities may handle the same issue in very different ways, which you can find under Code of Federal Regulation Title 24, and that would be 982.5, which we'll link up for you guys. Common missed deadlines and possible remedies. Now, this has all got jammed in as I was trying to work it out, but waiting list update or confirmation would result in removal from a waiting list and reinstatement to the original application date. And I will copy this list so we don't have to go through all that today. Missing a waiting list deadline. Housing authorities frequently require applicants to confirm and continue interest, update an address, respond to waiting list notification, attend an eligibility appointment, and submit documents by a particular date. I can tell you, after serving roughly 22,000 people over those 26 years, that that list right here, I'm going to highlight on the screen, is the #1 cause of most people's problems. A lot of you guys just don't respond, or you respond too late. But if you are removed or asked the housing authority to, you can identify the notice allegedly sent. And keep in mind, allegedly, because many of you may notice there's often errors with them trying to mail something to you. They may mail it to a former address, or it may have been done maliciously, okay? So second to that's going to be to provide the address, email address, or telephone number used, and then provide a mailing date or method of delivery, an explanation to reinstate policy and or to restore your original waiting list and lottery position, which is extremely hard to do, okay? And then the last being last, provide an informal review if the removal constitutes a denial of assistance. Applicants denied assistance must receive a notice explaining the decision of how they how to obtain an informal review, which my office can instruct you in that manner. The exact local process should appear in the Housing Authority's Administrative Plan again, Title 24, 982.554. Possible grounds for reinstatement include notice was sent to the wrong address with proof, and the applicant previously reported a new address. The notice was never received. The porthole was inaccessible. The applicant was hospitalized or medically incapacitated. The disability interfered with the understanding or responding. Domestic violence was included, or displacement, disruption of communications, and the applicant experienced homelessness or lack of reliable mailing access. The Housing Authority made an administrative error, and trust me, they don't often make an admission of guilt on that. So, do not simply submit a new application unless instructed to do so. First, request reinstatement to the original application date. If you start something new, then you're going to zero out what's already been done, and you'll wind the clock back to zero, okay? So, number two, missing an application and document deadline, submitting everything you currently have. If one document remains unabatable, then you can get an explanation. What document is missing, when it was requested, what steps you've taken to obtain it, when you expect to receive it, and whether an alternative document is available. And in almost all cases, there are alternative options. You just need to explore those. And so we go on to ask if there are specific extensions instead of open-ended delay. For example, an additional 10 to 14 calendar days when you ask for an extension. If the application has already been denied or requesting informal review, and submitting documents with that request under HUD regulations require an opportunity for applicants to obtain the denial, although local procedures and deadlines are established by the PHA under the application review requirements, which is a separate link I'm going to provide for you guys. As you can see, we're going down a rabbit hole, so please do feel free to join me as we tunnel even a little deeper. So number three, missing a voucher expiration deadline. HUD requires an initial voucher term to be at least 60 calendar days, and the Housing Authority may provide one or more extensions to its administrative plan. And again, that will be under Title 24 CFR 982.303. So you may go on to immediately request and reinstate the expired voucher, a retroactive extension beginning on the expiration date, additional housing search time, tolling for periods when a submitted unit was being processed or inspected, or if permitted by the local policy. A reasonable accommodation when disability-related barriers cause or contributed to the delay, including evidence of your housing search such as the landlord contracts, rental application, unit denials, emails and text messages, listings you pursue, requests for tenancy approval, and accessibility to problems. Units rejected because of rent or inspection issues, but importantly, the limitation of federal HCB regulation generally do not require an informal hearing solely because the Housing Authority refuses discretionary voucher extensions. However, the PHA must still follow its administrative plan and, where applicable, fair housing requirements under Title 24 CFR 982.555. So, missing a recertification deadline, voucher participants are required to supply information requested for regularly scheduled and interim reexaminations under Title 24, 982.551. So we're getting deep into it, and federal code can go as much as 10,000 codes. If the deadline's passed, you can submit the documents immediately, ask for a new appointment. If one was missed, explain the reason for noncompliance, request that a proposed termination be withdrawn, ask for the PHA to consider whether the failure was temporary or unintentional or beyond your control, and correct outdated contact information is one other option, and requesting communication assistance or accommodation if needed for those that are low vision or have other applicable disabilities. The PA